This is a really heartening part of our program because we focus on some examples of peace builders who have really focused on solutions in their own realms. And we will be recognizing them with the Rick Love and Young Innovator Awards. And to present those awards and also to hear from those speakers, I want to call upon Peter Digitale Anderson, who's the Executive Director of Peace Catalyst International. Thank you, Peter.
You coming up? I'm bringing my colleague Michele up as well. Digitale is Italian. Most people look at it and just aren't sure what to do with that extra E on the end. Oh, hello, it is wonderful to be with you here this week. My name is Peter Digitale Anderson, and I'm the Executive Director of Peace Catalyst International. If you don't know about Peace Catalyst already, we are an international Christian peace-building community that's dedicated to mobilizing the church and organizing neighbors so that all can flourish in their communities. We believe that peace and justice are at the heart of the Christian faith, even if much of the church has forgotten that or doesn't know that. And we believe that the church can be a powerful force for good in their community. At Peace Catalyst, we try to make this a reality by training and resourcing the church and congregations in theology and peace skills, so they actually have both a narrative, a vision for peace as part of their faith, and so then they know what to do with it. And then we also focused on empowering local Christians to be peace builders in their neighborhood with their neighbors in very grassroots ways. For the past 3 years, Peace Catalyst has offered the Rick Love Awards in honor of our late founder, Dr. Rick Love. In 2010, after a long career in ministry in Muslim-majority countries, Rick launched Peace Catalyst in response to the violent rhetoric and the significant Islamophobia that he witnessed here in America when he came back. He went back to his home churches and listened to what they were saying about his Muslim friends and people that he knew, and was horrified by it. After that, he devoted his life to loving his Muslim friends and neighbors, to building bridges of trust and understanding between Christians and Muslims, and to advocating for greater religious freedom and pluralism, both here in America and internationally. Building on his leadership, Peace Catalyst staff are now involved in post-war reconciliation, racial justice, trauma healing, refugee support, interfaith peace building, and more. Wherever we're doing that, we're inviting the local churches to join us in this collaborative peace building work across divides. Sadly, Rick passed away in 2019, and Peace Catalyst and Rick's family launched the Rick Love Awards as a way to celebrate his legacy of theological work, his hands-on peace building, and his work catalyzing movements for peace among evangelicals and the wider Christian community. This year, our third year of doing this, we're giving away 3 Rick Love Awards. We're giving 2 Young Innovator Awards for peace builders who are under the age of 30, who are working on innovative or transformative projects in their own communities. And we're giving 1 Rick Love Peace Award to a leader who has had an outsized impact over the past year, either through their theological work or through their practical hands-on practitioner peace building work. And to actually present these, I'm going to introduce our Director of Development, Michele West-James.
It has been a pleasure to be here over the past few days, and it is indeed hope-giving in order to see all of just the diversity of thought and people here working towards a more peaceful world. Our first Young Innovator Award for 2024 is Tan Nguyen. She will introduce herself in a moment, but Tan is a recent graduate of University of Notre Dame who is working on the Sabio Ecumenical Liberation Theology Center in East Jerusalem to bring Christian leaders to the West Bank to catch a vision for what peace, justice, and liberation could look like in Palestine and Israel. We were excited by Tan's passion for theology of justice and liberation, and for the leadership she showed, even as a student, to organize and advocate for the people of Palestine. We believe the work with the church she is doing now and the deeper narrative and theological work she dreams of doing in the future will have a deep impact on the church's relationship with the Middle East. Here is a brief message from the winner herself.
Hello, my name is Tan Nguyen, and I am truly honored to receive this year's Rick Love Young Innovators Award from Peace Catalyst in the Alliance for Peacebuilding. I've been fortunate to work at the intersection of religion and development as a peacebuilder and researcher, and Peace Catalyst has been a part of my journey ever since my undergraduate years at the University of Notre Dame. Currently, I serve as the project coordinator at Sabeel Ecumenical Liberation Theology Center in East Jerusalem, where I lead strategic partnerships and support peace education through delegations to Palestine, Israel, and other programs. In this capacity, I've had the privilege of continuing my relationships with the wonderful staff and team members at Peace Catalyst. This award holds special significance for me as a first-generation Vietnamese American whose own family history is marked by colonial war and displacement. I am inspired by Peace Catalyst founder Rick Love's legacy, and I hope to continue it by making peacebuilding more inclusive, ensuring that it honors marginalized voices and fosters creativity in envisioning what collective liberation and mutual flourishing can look like. On this note, I'm deeply grateful to the incredible peacebuilders around the world, whom I'm honored to call my peers, for their dedication to this work. Ultimately, peacebuilding is about building relationships that nourish and sustain us. And as such, I want to end with an invitation to reflect on the communities in your own life that nurture liberation within you, and to consider how you can strengthen these bonds to move towards a world where peace is not just the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice and freedom for all.
Moses Abalade, a peace educator and network builder in Abuja, Nigeria, with the Peace Education and Practice Network, or PEPNET. Moses is passionate about teaching peace and leadership skills to students, believing they are essential to creating more peaceful communities and raising up future leaders with a vision for peace. Moses has taught thousands of students, created curricula and resources for educating youth, and is building a growing network of peace educators. In selecting Moses, we were inspired by his passion for education and cultivating an entire culture of peace in Nigeria, and the ways his complete dedication to the work of peace is transforming his networks. We will now watch a brief video from Moses.
Moses Shegun Abolade, the Executive Director and Peacebuilding Consultant for Peace Education and Practice Network, PEPNET Nigeria, located here in Abuja, Nigeria. I'm deeply honored to be recognized as a recipient of the Rick Love Young Innovators Award, which is a testament of what we've been doing as peace builders, creating content here in Nigeria and facilitating this content through innovative means. Most of our programs have spanned over 30 since 2018, and we have been able to reach more than 4,000 beneficiaries, which include young people, peace builders, policymakers, and vulnerable groups of population. This award definitely will inspire a lot of young people beside myself to reach more people and to break the cycle of violence in Nigeria and in Africa. So I want to say a big thanks to everyone who have been supporting my work and who have been following what we are doing here at PEPNET. It's a great opportunity to be selected, and I really appreciate this opportunity.
Our final award is for Reverend Munther Isaac, the pastor of the Evangelical Lutheran Christmas Church in Bethlehem and the Lutheran Church in Viet Seor, the academic dean of Bethlehem Bible College, and the director of Christ at the Checkpoint. As a Palestinian Christian, Reverend Isaac has for years been a prominent voice advocating for a just peace in Israel and Palestine, and calling on Western Church to understand the relationship to this historic conflict. Since the horrific violence of Hamas on October 7th and Israel's subsequent horrific invasion of Gaza, Reverend Isaac has continually challenged Christians in America to listen and to believe the testimonies of Palestinian Christians, to repent of their own apathy toward and complicity of the destruction of Gaza, and to confront the Christian Zionism that has influenced so much of America's policies towards Palestine. We honor Reverend Isaac's courage and compassion as he sought to transform the church's narrative about Palestine. Due to safety concerns and the closing of borders, Reverend Isaac was unable to send a video, and so instead we have a letter for him to read, for me to read. To all those at Peace Catalyst International and esteemed guests, greetings from Bethlehem. I am deeply honored to accept the Rick Love Award. It is a privilege to be recognized alongside previous recipients, particularly from an organization that carries forward the impactful legacy of Rick Love. I had the distinct pleasure of meeting Rick Love during the Christ at the Checkpoint conference in Bethlehem. His commitment to interfaith peace building and his profound impact on breaking down barriers of misunderstanding and prejudice remain a source of inspiration for me. As a Palestinian Christian pastor and theologian, I have the privilege of pastoring Evangelical Lutheran Christmas Church in Bethlehem and the Lutheran Church in Beit Sor, and I also serve as academic dean of Bethlehem Bible College and as the director of the Christ at the Checkpoint Conference. And while my journey began with a background in civil engineering from Bezit University, I pursued a master in biblical studies from Westminster Theological Seminary and earned a PhD from the Oxford Center for Mission Studies. As someone who studied at the same seminary as Rick, I saw that we both share a common spirit of advocacy and reconciliation. Though from very different backgrounds, and the united message of our faith led us to many of the same places. I come from Palestine, a land often described in terms of complex and challenging realities, including the ongoing military occupation, apartheid, and genocide. My journey has been dedicated to challenging stereotypes and advocating for justice, which is central to my book, The Other Side of the Wall. In these times, taking a stand for peace means more than just diplomatic efforts. It involves courageous commitment to justice and solidarity with the marginalized, and it is about choosing sides with those who suffer and standing firm in our faith convictions. As we witness the ongoing tragedies, including the devastation that affects our communities, it is vital to remember that God always sides with the oppressed. The principle drives our work at Bethlehem Bible College and through the Christ at the Checkpoint initiative. Peacebuilding is not about naive diplomacy or simplistic notions of both sides. It requires speaking truth to power, challenging our own traditions, forming partnerships across diverse faiths and beliefs. It is a collective effort to create communities marked by peace, justice, embodying the truth spirit of interfaith dialogue and mutual respect. Thank you once again for this remarkable honor. I am inspired to continue this important work and to uphold the values of Rick Love exemplified through his life. With gratitude for this honor, Rick's memory is a reminder to remain always committed to the pursuit of peace. Thank you. If you would like to learn more about these peace builders and the work of Peace Catalyst International, among many of our partners, please visit us at peacecatalyst.org or find Peter or I or contact us or whatever. We're more than willing to and thankful to share in this work with you.